Willie D Live.
What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? A juror in the O.J. Simpson murder trial revealed that she and at least 90% of the other jurors believe that O.J. Simpson was, get this, family, guilty. So why did they find him not guilty? Well, let her tell it. Revenge. Revenge for what? Revenge for the officers, the uncivilized mutts who beat Rodney King on video and escaped justice. What do y'all think about that, fam? Fair exchange? Here's the deal. This is as black and white as a case can get, right? You got white people on one side, primarily, saying, this guy's guilty. He needs to go to jail. He got to go to jail. He's guilty. Look at the evidence. It's right there. It's clear. And black folks saying, no, he was found not guilty. Let's trust the process like we've always done in this country. Let's trust the process. See, family, y'all come in a little closer, because I'm going to call a strike and a ball a ball. I love all y'all. You know who's to blame for the O.J. Simpson verdict more than anybody? More than the judge, the jury, the prosecution, and the defense? White people. The millions of white people who have sat in judgment of others and made their decision based off skin color. Yeah. And those who have watched and listened and saw injustice, but were silent. You know, silence is consent. The same people who are mad at the jurors for letting OJ off the hook had no problem with the woman who falsely accused Emmett Till of whistling at her. They had no problem. I mean, it just didn't bother. It didn't bother them as much that a 14-year-old innocent boy was dragged from his relative's home and beaten beyond recognition, shot, stabbed, and everything else. It didn't matter. They didn't feel that. They didn't feel the millions of other black people who have went through the court system and was judged by exclusively white jurors. And they were victims of whites who got off, where the evidence was very clear. Time and time and time and time and time and time and time again. You see, family, if not for that bias in the system, perhaps all Americans could have looked at their case objectively and just said, hey, that's what it is. We're going to call a strike, and a ball. But y'all know, the bias is what divides us. The systemic bias, the systemic racism. That's what divides us. And that is why so many black people could not bring themselves to want to see O.J. Simpson pay for that crime. Now, there are a number of black people who really do believe that O.J. Simpson is innocent, but there are others who don't, include myself. And I've said it many, many times. But as far as O.J. Simpson not being found guilty, as far as the Goldman family and Nicole's family getting justice, I'm indifferent, family, because guess what? I'm the target. I'm just like the other millions of black men out there right now who, if somebody blamed for a crime, I got to prove myself innocent. I got to prove I'm guilty until proven innocent. That's if I make it to trial. Because when it comes to a lot of black men, people like to take their justice out in the streets, including black men. That's right, fam. I got to call a strike and a ball. Go to jail, 30, 40 years, get accused of a crime you didn't commit. First thing they want to know, are you bitter? Are you bitter? You goddamn right I'm bitter. Took my life away from me, took my family away from me, did me dirty. And I'm not supposed to be bitter? You damn right I'm bitter, and I want revenge. That's right, I want revenge. I want justice. That's what I want. Now, as a human being, I am empathetic of the pain and suffering of others. But when you're talking about this wicked system, family, black people just don't get too many chances. Don't get too many good looks, Don't get too many benefits of doubt. So this is why, even in a case like this where two human beings lost their lives, for the most empathetic black people, the response is, okay. Happens to us all the time. We don't get justice a whole lot of times. That's why you see the riots and the protest. When something happens to somebody that's not black, you will hear people invariably in the comments saying, yeah, I bet there won't be any riots for this person. Somebody get violated. I bet you they're not gonna go to the streets and they're not gonna riot, because you don't have to ride for others. The justice system rides for them. It's normal for them to get justice when the police violate their rights. That's normal, that they're gonna get justice. It's expected. It's not expected when it comes to black folks, because it don't happen often, or it don't happen frequently enough. So in anticipation that justice will not be served, black folks take to the streets so that they'll know we're serious about getting justice for this person, this human being. The murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman was absolutely horrible. Two human beings, knifed to death, I'm talking about. He did them bad, fam. But how am I supposed to expend energy on that case when there's been millions of cases where people who look like me met their demise, and people who don't look like me never expended any energy? How am I expected to do that? How were black and brown jurors in the O.J. Simpson trial expected to do that when they don't get the same consideration? So, to the white people who have a problem with the verdict, those of you who can't stand O.J. Simpson's dead corpse, for those of you who hate the jury's decision, I say to you, treat people how you want to be treated. And then maybe we all can get a little equality. No more talk.